AITA for not shaving my legs for work. So I'm a 21-year-old female. I feel like I should say these things about myself, because these are usually what people ask or say when they find out I rarely shave my legs. I'm straight. I'm very feminine. And I just don't like to waste my time or money on shaving my legs. Also, I'm not a hairy person at all. You can barely see my leg hair, arm hair, or even my goddamn eyebrows. The only time I shave is when I'm dating a new guy in my life, and I've been with my current BF for 3 years now. Also, he doesn't give a rat's ass if I shave my legs. So I work for a promotion company where I travel and work at events and festivals. But today I had to go into the office to grab some materials, and my boss was there in his office, so I stopped to say hi before I left out. When I ducked in, he awkwardly asked me if we could talk about something. I said sure and came in, and he shut the door. He was so red and stuttering, but finally he told me we needed to speak about hygiene. I was in literal shock. I was so embarrassed and asked him what he meant. My boss then proceeded to tell me that a few people complained I didn't shave my legs, and they said it went against company policy, that I wasn't being hygienic. I was even more shocked. I told him I didn't understand what that had to do with me shaving my legs, and he was just absolutely quiet. I asked him if he shaved his legs, and he still said nothing. I then stood up and said if we were gonna keep talking about this, I'd prefer hours to be there, and he just told me that we didn't need to discuss it any further. Later today I just got an email from ours saying that they would like to set up a meeting for next week to talk further about the discussion that happened today. I'm freaking out, and it's making me so anxious. AITA for not shaving my legs for my job. Edit. So people giving my boss hate, I understand, but I'm not mad at him, and don't blame him. I'm not sure, but I feel like someone was in fact pressuring him to talk to me about this, because he is a usually very chill and a nice guy who usually doesn't even force dress code and stuff. But also, I really have no clue what really brought this on all of a sudden, since I've worked there 8 months with no incident. NTA, this is some sexist bullshit. Wow. Absolutely incredibly ridiculous. Would they ask a male employee to shave his legs? How is it unhygienic for you, but not for any man who has leg hair? I'm honestly aghast. Edit. I didn't assign a vote. It's such an insult to pretend this has anything to do with hygiene. NTA. His company policy sounds misogynistic. Unless if it states that the men in the company should also shave their legs. Try to search where in the policy does it state about hygiene to clear things up. And bring that up to ours on your meeting. I think a good example to really drive it home without getting any buds from people is point out men who have either stubble or a slight beard going on. Point out how shaving legs can cause a lot of razor burn to and general discomfort. NTA. If ours requires shaved legs, push for a stipend. If you're up for it and are ambivalent about hair on your legs, ask for cash to do laser hair removal on your legs. After a few treatments you maybe have to shave once a quarter. Everyone wins. NTA. How the fuck is it a hygiene issue that you don't shave your legs? Ours better be on your side here. NTA, this isn't a hygiene problem, it's a sexist view women have to shave. Personally, I do, but I respect your right to make that decision. Talk it over with ours. Stand your ground. If they fire you, publicize your story. That is unfair sexist business practices. I want to find out who's actually mentioned this to the boss, as they're the one who should be spoken to. NTA. And don't freak out. Ours probably wants to cover their ass. Your boss probably told them what happened, and they want to make sure you don't sue. /you/Blinda Disco, it's more likely he went 2 hours to nip it in the bud, rather than somebody complaining 2 hours. He's probably freaking out as much as you are. B/C, he knows. He knows what he said was out of line and a mistake. I think it's safe to say that if you mentioned ours at all, he assumes you're going to talk to them. And they know if they try to fire you for not shaving your legs. Especially these days. That's ripe for a lawsuit, and lawyers would love to try that case. I work in and it will state So whenever I've had one of those meetings my boss and hours, I pull out my phone, place it on the table, hit record and state you're recording this meeting, so you have a record of what was said. It's too easy for the company to say, well, we didn't say that, if they're firing you for one thing or another. NTA. See this one to the end. Don't be nervous about the meeting with ours. Just be honest about what happened. This is a pretty righteous hill to die on, Imo. Edit. I got a lot of karma from this, and it's pretty cool. Little background. I respect the hell out of women that choose not to shave the hair that grows naturally from their bodies. People get really mad about this. Both women and men. They feel threatened by it. I'm male. And have always been for it. I told my wife, when we started dating over a decade ago, that I didn't expect it of her. And she could not if she wanted. She still chooses to. Mainly to avoid being made fun of by other women. Vacationing some weeks ago, there was a girl at the pool of the hotel we were staying at that was unshaven. And my brother was actually really mad about it. Didn't want to see it. Indicated later that he wished he could have punched her. Apparently just for existing in his space. I would fucking die on this hill. Like if there were any hill, it'd be this hill. NTA. I hope Ours wants to talk with you to let you know that your boss's comments were sexist and wrong. There's no need to freak out, because you've done nothing wrong. The only thing I would do to prepare for your meeting with Ours is to write an account of the meeting with your boss in your own words. If Ours starts to agree with your boss, you could rhetorically ask if they are planning on making the men shave as well. It would also do you good to have the name of a good employment law attorney in your area. r/legaladvis would love this post. She should also find her employee handbook and find out exactly what it says about employee dress code and grooming standards. What if it actually says women need to shave their legs? Make sure you update. Info. Are men in your office allowed to wear shorts? If men must cover their leg hair, I suppose they may try asking the same of you. However, that sounds legally dubious. Unless they make an across-the-board dress code change that applies to everyone. That's how a lot of companies get around this kind of thing. Either way, you are NTA. So it depends on the event. We have had a few events where we are outside and the guys were allowed to wear shorts. Nah, the hygiene thing was clearly an excuse. And a bad one. Truth is, you work in sales, even if indirectly. So clients are in charge. If they don't like you, you don't sell. If you don't sell, you don't have a job. If clients complain, the company must do something, either change the way the employee presents, or get a new employee. It's not fair. But business is not fair. People will buy what they want from who they want. If they want shaved legs, they will get shaved legs. You, of course, don't have to go with what they want. But your company doesn't have to employ you. Nah, your manager framed it poorly by calling it a hygiene issue. This has nothing to do with hygiene. The issue is your professional appearance. You're in a client-facing role. And when you are client-facing, the expectations for professional appearances are a lot higher. For both women and men. Since you're representing your company. And unfortunately, when you're a woman, this means shaving your legs. I wish we lived in a world where women didn't have to shave their legs. But realistically, women get judged for it. Info. Are you the face of the companies you promote? Could a client have complained that you weren't giving the proper impression of them because you're unshaven? Not excusing it. Cause your hair. Your choice. But wondering if that's the pressure. Info. Do you have an image standard for your job? As in, is it considered a model position? Update after your meeting? We need an update. AITA. You're a model. Your work literally relies on appearance. It's what you're paid for. Business casual and business attire are conservative professional attire. Adhere to those standards. You can shave your legs. Wear pantyhose. Or wear slacks. Men aren't asked to shave their legs because they are required to wear pants in that environment. Men generally have hair grooming standards to adhere to as well. You're conflating your personal views with how you should behave professionally. The office is not the place to push societal norms. If you feel that strongly, get a different job. It's not discriminatory to expect you to adhere to expected dress codes at the office. Had to scroll too far down for this. Your boss lifts up his pant leg. Yes, I do. Revealing a leg so smooth you can see your reflection. We all do. You suddenly realize no one has eyebrows. Edit. Thank you for silver, kind stranger. Now, I'm going to against the grain and vote that this is just an uncomfortable and unfortunate situation. And no one is really the asshole here. You didn't provide much detail. But I'm making some assumptions that a lady in their early 20s that is paid to travel around and promote festivals is probably in line with what models do to promote all sorts of things, if there's any truth to that. Part of your pay is to present a certain look or image that the company may want, project and maintain. If your boss is telling the truth and he's had multiple comments on it, you have to be honest with yourself and consider the chances that your leg hair may be more obvious than you thought. We are our worst judges of our own appearance. Again, not bad on its own. But if your job is to promote a certain image, it's just part of the job not to deviate from the look they need. Another thing that makes me think that he was honest is how embarrassed he was to tell you about it. He wouldn't have put himself through it if he didn't believe it to be true. The fact that he involved hours later means that he knew how rough a situation it was. Yet he still wanted to bring it up. That's some honesty. The hygiene thing was stupid. But I think it was probably just the best semi-official thing he could think of. Anyway, I know going to be an unpopular opinion, but just wanted to put it out there. Happy to hear your thoughts. Edit. Clarification. Now, look, it sucks that you've got to shave your legs is an expectation. But you're in a client-facing role at an event company. Part of why you have the job is your looks and personality project the image the company and customers want. You got the talk because a customer complained. Your boss tried to do you a solid and bring it to your attention in a circumspect way without involving hours. He was trying to avoid saying you being a pretty girl matters, and some customer found your hairy legs gross and complained. And all the morally right to not have to shave loses to the bottom line. Bowers isn't there for you, they're there to cover the company's ass and you work at will. Bowers' solution would almost certainly be to fire you without giving a reason so they can avoid anything that looks like this thread. I have no idea how the conversation with them will go. Maybe they tell you to shave. Maybe they talk to the boss. Regardless of if it seems friendly, you're probably on borrowed time because you're now a liability to them. NTA. Everyone bitching about men having to shave their faces and wear trousers. The boss specifically states it was a hygiene issue, not a presentation issue. Leg hair has nothing to do with hygiene, so this was a ridiculous and sexist remark to make. FYI, clothes, piercings, tattoos, hair color, hairstyle, facial hair, and body hair are not protected classes, and a company can basically tell you to appear however they like, or you can get lost. HR/legal will tell you the same. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more future videos.